Go back and read the comments on that later. Let's see if this has started yet.
Who is that with the T? Who is that with the
Tim So
Okay.
Yeah, it's Tim.
Hey, Alex.
So I'm going to go ahead and start the stream with the introduction. Check and make sure I got audio. Live from the Tony Wallow Studios, it's the Ken Stout Live Show, featuring the Zoom homies, produced by LK Productions. So is my camera working yet or not? When I first went into Zoom, it said camera is not functional or something along those lines. Oh, now it's functional. Cool. Hello, Greg. Hello, Rick. Hello, Alex, Darren, Chris, and Tim. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Nice to see everybody. I know a couple people were watching the golfing premiere, and I know at least somebody wasn't watching the golfing premiere, and I actually kind of made a reference to him in my golfing today.
Oh, I watched it for a second and I thought, what's he doing now? I there at first I thought you were live, and then I thought, well, I clicked on it and it said premiere, so
Yeah, that's for 57 minutes this afternoon. I walked the first 9 holes and played 3 golf balls per hole, and it was fun. It was other than the fact it was a whopping 40 degrees and no sunshine. It was fun. Learned something.
It's cooled off that cold here now.
Yeah, I think we're 35 right now, I believe is what it said when we pulled in the garage.
it's
34.
Feels like a refrigerator. I don't know what it is outside, but I know it feels like a refrigerator in.
That's not bad. I mean, I wouldn't want to be out playing any golf right now at 34 degrees, but in and out of the store or whatnot, it's comfortable. I can deal with that.
Right now, outside it's 35 degrees here.
Yeah. Long Dog says he's here. Jim says Santa Claus and his old lady. Yeah. Yeah, she is actually older than I am.
I said that earlier. I said Santa Claus and his elf.
So Chris said something about the screen was flashing.
Yeah,
What
it was flashing.
The Zoom screen or the YouTube stream?
YouTube while waiting.
Yeah, I saw that.
I wish I would have been home and seen that comment so I could have seen what was going on, but I wasn't going home. I wasn't home. Anyway.
If you're flashing, it's not really a family channel.
About like playing golf with your ears or playing it by ear or whatever. That was pretty good. I like that.
Get that.
Well, some things I learned, whereas I need to pay attention to the wind, and I didn't. I was just basically smacking golf balls today. The other thing is, I heard Tiger Woods say that back in the day they used to keep their golf balls in their pockets because a warmer golf ball will go further. So I don't know if that's true or not, but maybe if I have another day come up that I get kind of crazy or whatever, I might test that theory out. I will tell you right now, if the sun comes out and it's above 40 degrees, I will play golf based off of today. If I can do it when it's partly cloudy, the wind's blowing as strong as it was, and I survived that walking, sure, why not? Good exercise.
Only thing I can think of is that a warmer golf ball might be a little more elastic when the club hits it.
Oh, I don't know.
I can't think of anything in the aerodynamics that would change enough to matter.
Yeah, no clue.
It's been too many years since I studied that stuff, and I just don't see.
Yeah.
But a warmer ball might go further since it's more elastic when you hit it, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know who all watched it, but the first couple of holes I actually focused on the ball, and I wanted to see if I could see the club strike the ball, which I can. I'm going to use the Android next next spring and next summer. I'm going to buy me another little gizmo for the tripod, and I'm going to put it off. I'm going to have one behind me, which will be Mrs. K holding the phone, and I'm going to put one off to my directly in front of me this way, so that I'm looking at. I can then see as the club comes down. I will then be able to see exactly how that club is striking that ball. So, Mike
You say
says,
you're going to use the Android. You mean Commander Data?
"Yep."
Right.
And then he'll be able to tell me what I did wrong, and I'll hit the second ball, and it'll go in the hole, and I'll score 18 on an 18. So Mike Perrodin said he's not going to join us tonight. He's not feeling too good, so understandable.
Maybe you could do an experiment about the ball being warm, and I know what Greg said, or what Jeff said, I understand.
Well, Long Dog says another thing is if you wax the golf ball, it will roll farther, and he's got to be saying that in jest, because I don't know that waxing a golf ball is going to make any difference on the ground or not. It might. I don't know. Maybe try it next year. This year, I'm just using junky old golf balls we've picked up. I'm not going to break the good stuff out till next year. If I get really decent using them, I should be real good next year with the brand new golf balls. So, how was everybody's day now that you know what I spent the afternoon doing?
I didn't do crap.
I was a little busy today, even though I was stuck in home again.
I talked to you all day, except for when you was napping or taking her to work or
I didn't nap today. I
golfing.
took her to work and golfed and came back and attempted to edit it and add a couple of the little remarks in there, and that was going okay, and it got frustrating, so I ended it. There was a couple more I wanted to add, but
He had to call me so that he could put Windows 8.1 on the flash drive and have Windows 10 on
gonna
the
throw me under the bus already. My goodness.
Because you can't upgrade.
Went on a flash drive.
You can't upgrade from 8.0 to 8.1. You have to go. I mean, you can't upgrade directly from 8.0 to 10. You have to go from 8.0 to 8.1 and then from 8.1 to 10.
Why can't he use that Windows key viewer that I gave him? Use that to see what the key is, write it down, do a clean install, and then throw his key in there.
Yeah, but those keys that Dale uses,
You don't even need to put the key in there. It'll automatically detect the key. And that's not me.
I know it's scary.
they used to use one key for several systems because it was the way they did it. I'm not sure how they do it now. The OEMs did. Several systems had one key, and then
I'm pretty sure that's what they do.
you know what I'm talking about, don't you, Alex?
I know because big businesses, I'm sure Gary knows all about it. Big businesses do the same, and colleges and schools do the same thing. They have what's called a KMS system or whatever, where they have one
system
key
lock,
and
something.
and all the
SLP.
computers talk to
Something
that
like
one
that.
system and it gets activated.
Correct. And if it's 8.0, it's probably got the key in BIOS because everything, like Jim said, at 2011 or 12, key's going to be in BIOS anyway.
The laptop I've got came with the original 8.0 and it's got the key embedded.
Mm-hmm. Unless you're keeping data, I wouldn't keep 8.0 and let crap out there. Sorry, Ken.
Well, I'm not. Yeah, you're not hurting my feelings. I'm going to upgrade him to Windows 10. He can't go any further because they're all i3 4th generation. So he's going to have 2.5 years or whatever use of Windows 10.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying gosh knows what's been taken off and put on. You
Oh, I don't
better-
know. I think the game plan is pretty much just do it from 8 to 8.1, then do it from 8.1 to 10, and then sit down with the operators of the computers themselves and say, okay, what do you use? What don't you use? Whatever they don't use, bye bye, see you later. Whatever they do use, we keep. I think that's how I'm going to do it. Unless I'm going up there tomorrow and I'm going to run crystal disk info on them. If they show the drives are bad, then I'll recommend, obviously, solid state drives for him, and then that changes the complexity of everything. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Wintermute says Windows 8 key, Windows 10 key have to go through upgrade at least once for that key to activate Windows 10. Yeah, Alex and I verified today that you actually have to upgrade 8.0 to 8.1 to go any further. We did verify that. The only thing we couldn't figure out is when did the Inspiron 23 all-in-one get released to the general public? We could not find that. So if any of you guys want to research that,
but it doesn't really matter, like you said earlier. It really doesn't matter because
no,
you just can't be ready to.
Right, it doesn't make any difference because if it had an i3, i5, or i7, they were all fourth generation, so it makes no difference. It will never run Windows 11. Pardon?
Yeah, you were saying the processors can't be upgraded.
Oh, I don't know. I think we discussed changing processors, but you pretty much convinced me that it's a pain in the ass to do and not really worth the trouble of doing it.
I'm pretty sure they're soldered to the motherboard.
Definitely an all-in-one it would be, because that's a laptop motherboard.
Well, it's like I told Alex, if I'm going to swap the drive out, if I'm there, if it's possible and you can upgrade the processor, I might as well do it. But I'm not even going to bring that up to him.
Ken, it might be like I told you earlier. It might be a hard drive with an SSD cache.
Not on the all-in-ones. Too old. Unless they already upgraded them once. And if they have a 5400 drive in there, and that's what he said it was yesterday, too old. Too old, too slow.
Yeah, we stopped at Walmart tonight. I bought a brand new notebook. I'm going to get the serial numbers and the model numbers and all the information, each individual one on each individual couple of pages, and go from there. I got to be up at 7 in the morning. I don't relish that.
How do you feel about this? You get one of his computers up and running. You know, you wipe one of his computers or whatever you do. After you get over the day off of one of his computers and take your capture card up there, and once you get one computer set up the way it needs to be, you can capture card and do a live stream from there of all the other computers.
And so I'll answer that question with a question, which I generally do not like to do. But how would you feel if you're running a business in the health industry and you had someone come in?
I'm just messing with
camera. You'd kick them out.
Correct.
I would anyway. I don't know about.
Oh, I'm sure he would too. Imagine the HIPAA violations that are possible with that.
Alex, you keep talking. You want a real job. You don't bring cameras to real jobs.
Somebody just joined. Oh, I forgot to initiate the bill. Hi, Jim.
Hey.
Well, then if that's the case, Gary, technically everybody's breaking the rule all the time because everybody's phone has a camera on it. So if you're using it or not, technically everybody's bringing a camera to a job.
Okay, you got me. But if I catch anybody at my work using it, it'll be their last day at work, and that is in their handbook. And that's above prosecution. If I used to work at insurance, we'd have caught somebody that had literally been prosecuted.
I got a question for Chris. Has your Jitterbug got a camera on it, Chris?
No.
There you go. See?
But no, what I was saying, Ken, is there stuff on the all-in-ones that is data that needs to be kept?
Oh, I'm sure there is.
Okay. Because I'm saying if there is not data that they have used in the last 5 years, you'd be better off wiping and starting fresh.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
God knows what. You hear people here saying every year we install Windows. That's a 10-year-old system with God knows what it's been through. That's what I was meant. Because you're doing 2 updates. You're updating to 8.1, then to 10. But if you wipe it clean, you could just go to straight 10.
Yeah, I've got get my little note out
If
here.
you
I've
go from
got 2
8.1 to
machines I know have to go from 8 to 8.1, and then the third machine's already at 8.1, so that can be upgraded up.
But
You
you
know,
have to upgrade it anyway to go from. You have to go from 8.1 to 10 anyway to get the digital license key, don't you?
Those should have BIOS keys, so you don't have you can wipe them and start at 10 if you don't need the data. But if you need the data, that's regardless.
Yeah, as long as there's a key embedded in the BIOS, which, if I remember reading the article correctly, any machine that came with Windows 8 should have a key in the BIOS. So technically, if you don't need the data off them, yeah, you can just wipe them and do a fresh install.
Because you're going to have my big concern would be a 10-year-old with software on and off, drivers on and off.
My concern is the fact it probably still has the original hard drive in it.
Well, that too.
And that thing's probably, I again, like I said last night, I wouldn't trust anything that old.
well, we'll find out in the morning.
Yeah, all those drives fail after 3 years, probably.
Oh, I've seen hard drives and laptops fail, and they're not even 2 years old. I've seen them do that.
Well, I'm still hanging on to my laptop, the hard drive that came out of my laptop, and when I upgraded it to an SSD, and it's 8 years old, and last time I plugged it in, still works. I'm not going to use it for nothing, but it still works.
I've got one from 2020. I mean, from 2012 out of a laptop, which was one of my fewer very first laptops. There's nothing wrong with it; still works fine. But it's a spinning hard drive. I don't want to stick it in anything. I guess I could make a portable storage out of it or something.
Did you get your battery changed on that one you posted on Facebook?
I actually deleted that comment. I went in, and the thing is, since the battery died, a lot of the Android operating system and all that stuff got corrupted. Went to go get the zip file or firmware for that thing and to have it on hand. And as I was doing the research, they're no longer supporting it. So it needs to be shredded and buy a new one. So I'm gonna take it apart anyway.
Was this a phone?
No, it's a Samsung Tab A or Tab A10. Yeah, it's an A10. I've got all the tools. I can take it apart, but the battery, something happened. It crashed and it corrupted the whole system. I can get it to turn on, but it has to be plugged in. But since the system got corrupted, it's all confused, and I get these weird error messages. So it's a useless deal to.
Oh, I've never had anything like that happen before to me. But what I have had happen is I've got an original iPad Mini from 2012 that runs like iOS 9.3 point whatever, and I was gonna wipe it and give it to my nephews for them to use, but I went to wipe it, and after I reset it, I found out that it can no longer access the App Store, and you can no longer download any more apps on it.
Well, this thing's pretty old, so it's not worth repairing. But I want to take it apart and see what I can and can't do, and just throw it away after that.
So is anybody Zoom and or stream blinking out and flashing? Mine is, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
No, and actually everything is nice and clear tonight.
Yeah.
Can you force install a newer version of iOS?
I would say probably not. And also, you cannot downgrade. Once you've upgraded to a version of iOS.
Yeah, I know.
The legal way, the correct way, the Apple's way, you cannot downgrade.
Even resetting it don't take it back to where it was.
So, Chris, I got a serious question. Are you seriously moving over to iPhone?
I did swap back over.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you had iPhone prior?
Yeah, I had this iPhone for a while. It's just a 7 Plus. It's kind of getting old, but it did get an update today, so
I've got 1080 on YouTube and it's working fine.
I don't think it's gonna go to 16, but it's the latest 15.
Yeah, that's like my current iPad. I'm using my iPad Mini 4. I've had it for at least 4 years now, maybe longer, and it won't go any further than iOS whatever it's on right now, 15.7. That's it. So in the next year or two, I'm prepared to have to buy a new.
According to the AMD program, my graphics card is up to date. I'm trying to figure out why Zoom keeps blinking in and out.
Everything's fine.
Yeah, I think it's just my machine, Tim. I don't think it's being broadcasted like that.
Like I've told you, your machine's haunted.
I'm beginning to think this whole house is haunted. I'm beginning to think that there were gremlins on the doggone golf course this afternoon. The camera I'm walking down the fairway and the camera would be like this, and all of a sudden it just go bloop. I'm like, I know that was tight, so I'd tighten it back up. 2 or 3 fairways later, fall over again. And then on the 18th hole, which was the 9th hole, the wind actually blew the tripod over. So why is that doing that? This is bugging me.
You weren't using a golf cart?
No, he wasn't going to let any carts go out on the course today, Chris. It's too wet. And
okay.
there was only one person out there playing golf.
It would tear up the grass, yeah.
Yeah. So.
When was the last time you updated Zoom on the machine?
I let that do it automatically when I shut it off.
I check for update on Zoom every time I open Zoom because they update so frequently. So I always have the latest version because we use it all the time.
Should be 512.9.
That's what I got, 512.9.
You're up to date.
Yep, so I don't think it's a Zoom issue. I think it's my haunted PC issue. Now I can not let that.
Maybe you need to clean it. Get some Windex.
Yeah, no. I've been told not to use Windex on these things because it will mess up the screen covering whatever's on there. So
I watched somebody clean their touch screen on their laptop with Windex, and that stuff just started rolling down the screen and went back in behind there. I was like, I wouldn't do that. And they're like, I do it all the time. I was like, whatever. 2 or 3 days later, my screen is acting weird.
I wonder why. I never sprayed it directly on the screen, but I've used it like on a paper towel or something and wiped it. Maybe I might not supposed to.
Real quick, Rick, is it still snowing?
I don't think he heard you.
I don't think you did. Frozen. Rick, is it still snowing?
Now light flurries right now.
And how much do you have on the ground?
Oh, probably close to a foot, if not at that. I think it's 11 point something inches.
You can have you can keep it. You can have it.
Yeah, it's not like we want it, but the problem is.
Yeah, well, I don't think anybody. Maybe my sister. She actually likes snow.
Me too.
Yeah, you can have
come over and drive on our slushy, icy streets. My friend took me to holidays. Like, good grief. went around one corner. We almost got stuck. But we plowed through it and we made it. But it's like, you ain't going to make it. It's like, maybe not. We slowed down to almost a stop.
Stealth Mode said he misses ice skating.
Went around one quarter. I almost went all the way around.
I used to love driving in snow. That's fun.
Okay, so I'm going to kind of
Fun
observe.
if you don't have other traffic to contend with. But we're downtown and
5,
cars behind
6,
us. And
7, 8, 9, 10. I'm counting the blinks on Zoom where I'm up to 13, 14, 15, 16. I'll be right back. I don't know who's going to be in charge. Probably Jim in Arkansas. Nope, it's going to be Greg. I'll be right back. So I'm still running YouTube stream. I'm just going to restart the Zoom and see if that fixes the problem. Nothing else is blinking. YouTube is good. OBS is good. The clocks are good. It's just Zoom blinks. And I need to let these guys know that when I come back. So I'm going to start that.
Happen.
I left and came back. I wanted to restart Zoom because none of my other monitors, YouTube is not blinking, OBS is not blinking, the clocks are not blinking. The only thing that was blinking is Zoom. So I wanted to restart it to see if that fixes that problem. And hopefully it did. Hope it does. It's just troubling. I mean, what I could do if it keeps it up just to get through the night is I can put something in front of it like this, and I can't see you guys, but I don't see Zoom blinking either. So, anyway. Caught Doug today live. That was kind of interesting.
I did watch that, but it wasn't live.
I couldn't sleep last night for some reason. I was actually up at 7, and I got to be up again tomorrow at 7. So that'll be 3 consecutive days I've had to be up at 7 o'clock, and my body can't handle that.
You couldn't sleep. I think it may have gotten 2 hours.
I used to get up like 5 o'clock every day.
Wintermute did some research, and he's not sure, but he said he found a review from 2013. 4th generation Intel came out. I'll click on the link and see what I can see here. That's going to take some reading to do. Do that later. Oh, I get some pop-up saying, add this. Nope, don't think so.
Later tonight, I'm going to try to quietly do some work on my desk out in the living room. Got the back panel all finally nailed back in. Now you just got to put things back in there, put the computer back in there, but I got to do the wiring in the back. It's just oh my God.
I should sleep pretty good tonight. I'm wore out from walking the golf course. So, again, it was 57 minutes. Unless my legs cramp tonight, and hopefully they don't. If I'd have been... Go ahead, Chris.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I said, did I mention the issue at my local Kroger? The pharmacy?
They got Kroger in Georgia now?
Yeah, we've had Kroger for years.
I've never seen one there, not in Statesboro.
You know what?
Food line.
They were supposed to build one. When I left in 2019, I was working there. But they were supposed to build one in Statesboro, but I don't think it ever happened.
I was out there in 2019, and I didn't see one.
Well, they had actually bought the land. I worked there for 25 years in Dublin.
Oh, wow.
I'm trying to figure out what's blinking in and out on Jeff's Zoom. I think maybe someone's standing there with a box or something.
No,
I was doing that last night.
I was just at the wrong distance for thing to focus well.
Oh, okay.
In my background.
All right.
I'm here by myself tonight.
Tim, did you ever hear of a store in Savannah called M&M Grocers?
Oh, yeah, I've been in there.
So Kroger bought them.
Oh.
It was like the early 90s. and there was one in Dublin that we switched over to Kroger in about 93 or something like that. I got there right after it switched over.
Huh.
Some places in the southeast, Food Lion's fallen on hard times.
Yeah, we had a Food Lion in Statesboro on Highway 80.
Yeah, and they were in with Harvey's too. They were, I don't know, they were affiliated with Harvey's somehow.
Yeah.
See, BH Ringers joined us on Zoom. I didn't hear the bell,
I
but
heard it.
oh, I'm sure it's working. I'm getting old, forgetful. What?
Hey,
Hey, say something. You talking to me?
hey,
There was a-
you talking to me? You talking to me?
There was a Piggly Wiggly Southern.
Piggly Wiggly. Boy, there's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
They
Yeah,
was a
we-
Piggly
around a
Wiggly,
few
the
places.
original Piggly Wiggly in Vidalia, Georgia.
Yep.
It was a
We
warehouse,
had, there was a lot of Piggly Wigglies in Virginia.
and they got a train track. They had a train track run right by it, and they carried stuff by train.
Huh.
Yeah, I
I
haven't.
mean,
used
it goes
to-
right by the loading dock.
I used to love going down to River Street in Savannah, though. That was fun.
Well, this one article says that there are a total of 499 independently owned Piggly Wiggly stores yet.
Yeah, they changed that, but they changed over the years.
But they were the first self-service grocery store, it says.
Yep. My mother would always say when I was young, I want to go to the pig. That
Yeah,
was the way you said it. I'm going to the pig.
Now I'm not going to say anything.
You
Be
do
good.
what, Jerry?
What they have in Texas, was it HEB, I think, maybe? Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, HB, yeah. He's there in Texas, yeah. I got relatives that mentioned that one.
We had IGAs here, and A&P.
We had IGA in Brooklet, Georgia.
Brooklet, Georgia.
Oh yeah, that's where my oldest brother's property is at. He's got property in Georgia, but he lives in Statesboro. So he's got two places.
So Brooklet is east of Statesboro.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's if you take what is it, 80?
US 80 towards Savannah.
Yeah, you pass right by it, and man, that's a speed trap. Actually, actually a lot of officers got in trouble because they were writing too many tickets. There was a big stink about it last year.
Also, somewhere in Bryan County, I think it is.
Yeah, Bryan County's bad. Metter's better, Pooler's cooler.
Looks like tomorrow Carrie's reviewing a Venus Series UM690 mini.
Really?
That's what it says. Gaming mini PC. I don't know.
I think that was a day.
Yeah, that was today. That was a
No,
cool.
he did. No, there's another one he's doing tomorrow.
It says
Oh, there's
December
another one?
16th. Yeah,
What's
at
with
12
these
o'clock
mini-
Pacific Standard Time. Wow, he must be going to do 2 live streams tomorrow. Then
No.
You got
does he always start at noon?
No, he starts always at 1 p.m. Arizona time. Arizona doesn't change their clocks.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
That's confusing.
Hey,
Yes,
them.
it is.
Not
in
to them,
Georgia,
it
it's
ain't.
already starting to get dark later.
5 o'clock in the afternoon. It's already dark in Indiana right now.
Well, I mean, here it was getting dark about 5:17. Now it's like 5:29. It starts getting dark. So you can tell with the difference now.
Yeah, I'm not a real big fan of the winter months.
Shortest day of the year is 21st.
It gets dark here at 4:45. by the time I get home from work, it's dark. It's getting dark. It sucks.
See, it'll come for you eventually, Ken. You'll catch up to you too.
You go to work.
Excuse me. Do what, Gary?
Go to work in the dark and come home in the dark.
I hate it.
Yeah, pretty
I
much.
guess the South is different then, as far as it don't stay long.
Well, you get 30 minutes more light than I do. I notice that every time I go over there. I'm like, it screws with me. It's like, wait a minute. They got 30 minutes more. Oh, this is cool. I guess it's because of the longitude or latitude or whatever it is.
Yeah, that has to do with it. Because I remember that fireworks show where Ken was, it was 10 o'clock and it was just getting dark back in the summer.
Yep, that is
never
true.
Does that here in Georgia. It's dark by 9:15.
Oh, I think the latest here is 9:30.
That's what I liked about Germany. Didn't get dark sometimes till 11:30, midnight.
You serious?
Yeah, I loved being in Germany.
Wow, I didn't think it would. I didn't think Germany would be like that, get dark that late.
In the summer. I'm guessing that was Alex that left a while ago.
Yep.
Probably getting ready for bed.
They're trying to do away with this daylight savings thing out here. I hope they do.
I think they're going to try to go to all daylight savings, if I'm not mistaken.
That'd be even better.
There's a proposal to make it all daylight, but I don't know if it's going to go through.
I know the state's pushing for it. I didn't know about the rest of the country.
Yeah.
They're calling it a climate thing now.
No, brother. So now gaining back an hour on the clock's going to help out the climate?
You'll use less. They figure if you're home at night and the lights, you go to work in the dark, you come home, you get more time in the light.
Okay.
Well, they tripped me out. PG&E sent out all this alerts, flex alerts and stuff. Well, don't use all your major appliances between 4 and 9 o'clock. I'm like, well, that's when I'm wanting to use everything. That's stupid.
It's when a lot of people use their stuff because that's when they're home. They work during the day.
Gosh.
Give me a break.
I don't want to comment on this.
A local TV station went off air.
I see that. ABC affiliate?
Yeah. Actually, LA picked it up and started rebroadcasting stuff. I was like, well, whatever.
Mike is a little hot on stealth mode. Is saying I'm a little hot. On the microphone on YouTube. Let me make an adjustment here. Yeah, the mixer shows it being okay, but I'll drop it down a little bit.
I can see why you had longer days when you were over there, Ken, in Germany. If you look, they're farther north than we are in the States in most places.
Bob Watchmcall is asking, can we stay on the YouTube stream longer? Right now, what I've been doing is about an hour, but yeah, we can hang out a little bit longer. I mean, I've got no issues with that.
It's only been 40 minutes anyway.
Yeah, it's already been, right at that.
Just let all the radio stations and TV stations go off at 12 a.m. at 12 at night to save energy. Like they used to.
Yeah.
Well, I can remember when I was a kid about that time of night, you'd see the test pattern come on.
Yep.
I
remember those.
I remember as a kid listening to WLS out of Chicago here in Indiana, and on Sunday night, I don't remember the radio station, but Dr. Demento would come on for 4 hours.
Probably Fort Wayne, wasn't it?
I don't know, Chris. I don't remember. I know it wasn't locally here out of Indianapolis, but I know that I listened to all 4 hours. And Monday morning at school were usually pretty rough for me. I don't really have an excuse for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, but Mondays I know what was wrong on Mondays.
You know, Dr.
So,
Demento is still alive.
oh, I don't. Is he?
Yeah, the guy that did it, Barrett Hansen is the guy's name, and he's 81.
Wow, that's like Dick Van Dyke. He's 97. He had a
Yep.
birthday yesterday or the day before.
Yep.
Man,
Bob Barker, 99.
who?
Bob Barker. Price is Right.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Kicking.
He's alive.
Old leather skin. I mean, yeah, Bob Barker.
Wow, the power's still out downtown.
99. I wonder if they're going to let him do a guest appearance on The Price is Right.
Oh God, I hope not.
I hated that show. I went to a babysitter, and that's all she watched.
Classic.
I was listening to it in the background. Lorna had it on earlier before she went to work, and Drew Carey says, we have a special prize package for you, whoever this girl was, and she had a chance to win 3 automobiles, 3 different type of automobiles. The catch was she had to win all 3. It was either 3 or 0. Her first guess was wrong, so that ended that rather abruptly.
Was that today?
Yeah, that was today.
That lady did win at the end of it. Now in the showcase, somebody won a car.
Oh, I didn't watch it. I was just listening to it while I was doing some background work. I'm not a big fan of The Price is Right. What's the other one? Let's Make a Deal.
Yeah.
Not a big fan of that.
Even worse.
That
Or
was
Wheel of-
Monty Hall.
Or Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, my dad used to watch that religiously. I've gotten away from Jeopardy. Hey, Wintermute, welcome in. I used to watch Jeopardy pretty religiously, as in I wouldn't miss it. But now I catch it when I can. No big deal. I still think sometimes some of them shows were rigged. Do what?
Not as good without Trebek.
Yeah, he was on there for quite a long time. I think Ken Jennings will eventually be the permanent replacement for him.
Whatever happened to the lady from The Big Bang? She's still on it?
They have
On-
just that
Yeah,
she
she's on it
does
sometimes.
certain types of shows, and Ken Jennings does most of the regular ones, I think.
Yeah, she does the tournaments, I believe.
Yeah, something like that.
I can't pronounce her name. Well, Amy Farrah Fowler. That's how when Mom and I talk about her, we know who we're talking about because that was her character.
Yep.
So that was a good show. Big Bang was pretty good. At least I thought. Johnny Carson, yeah. Yeah, I've been watching a lot of Johnny Carson on YouTube. I watched I think it was about 30 minutes long with Rich Little. You guys remember Rich Little?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Impersonator,
Voices.
Mm-hmm.
impressionist, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah. He was really good. He was
Canadian.
do what, Gary?
He was a Canadian.
Yeah, he was actually. You're right.
Yeah.
He did. I watched one where he was doing Johnny Carson, and if you would have closed your eyes, the voice was pretty spot on. But what impressed me was he had his mannerisms down. I mean, almost as if it was his doppelganger. It was really impressive to watch.
All you need is a cigarette and a pencil.
I guess they say both Johnny Carson and Rich Little agreed that Bob Hope is one of the very few people that nobody could impersonate very well. That's what I said. Little did a Humphrey Bogart. It was pretty good.
And nearly anybody can do Jimmy Stewart.
Rich Little said Jimmy Stewart was how he got started doing impressions.
Yeah.
And you're right. Just about anybody can do Jimmy Stewart. It's almost like just about anybody can do Arnold. Pretty easy to do. So that's pretty cool. We got asked to stay a little bit longer. I like that.
We only We only need 5 more people in here now. We'll make a new record.
Yeah, five would do it. That would give us 17. We should try to plan that coming up between now and 16 days from now. Oh, news front, work front, Lorna's employment front. Since they did away with the 12-hour shift, or since, they vetoed the 12-hour shifts, now they've opened up back the overtime because nobody wants to come in to work. Lorna is now going to work 12 hours next Wednesday and 12 hours on the 30th. So, that place is
finding they have to do what they have to do to keep people there.
Yeah, well, they found out in a matter of days that these staffing agencies that they're using, they're so unreliable. I mean, not because she's my wife, but you've got someone like Lorna that wants to work, and they won't let her work. So, if you're paying a staffing agency $27, $30 an hour, pay Lorna to stay. Sure, it's going to eventually kick into overtime, but not that night. So
I'm assuming, because I heard you say that a bigger company is the management company now. I don't know the particulars, but they have a budget for hourly and contract labor. That's the problem.
Probably, yeah.
And you're just like a budget for overtime, budget for straight time. You got to look at the big picture. And I mean, that sounds silly, but get caught up in worrying about that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I would assume they should be flexible enough to move some of the budget around, though.
You would be surprised at supervisors that try to run their own fiefdom. Every place I've ever worked.
I understand that part. I've been there, but
you go, wait a minute. Why are you calling it? Let him work. He pays, Oh.
Well, I mean, you're given a budget. Here's your budget to run your department. And if you come in under budget, you're going to get a little bit of a bonus, if not a decent bonus at the end of whatever the bonus period is.
That is correct. And a raise next year.
And if I'm sitting in an office in Colorado and I'm running a facility in Indiana, I don't give a flying flip if they don't have people there at night. That's going to my bonus.
Yep.
Which is sad. But I'm sure it's a reality.
I said something to Alex, well, to everybody, but Alex, that you're working this year, learning, working for next job. Your next job may be with the same company, but it may be a higher position, a lateral position, just, supervision, whatnot, senior lead, whatever. But then your wife, they make her the team lead for the shift or something.
Yeah, she practically does it now anyway because they got a bunch of morons working there.
Yeah, but extra 5 cents an hour is better than a sharp stick.
Yep, 2 more. We're up to 13.
What did they say, BH? Keep your stick on the ice?
Yeah.
And if they don't find you handsome?
Find you handy.
So, there you go. BH has offered to caddy for me next spring. I'm looking forward to that. Got to figure out how to get him here.
No, hey, Chris. You gotta go
run the camera too.
Yeah, hey BH, you think you can caddy and run the camera?
We'll give it a try.
All right, here we go. If someone asked me to caddy for him, it'd go something like this. What do you think I should use? Use one of your clubs. What club do you think I should use? The one you think is going to get it from here to there.
Hey, so. I can caddy for you, and I don't even need a golf cart.
All those in favor?
I didn't hear what he said.
He said he could caddy for me. He doesn't even need a golf cart. Actually, golfers that use caddies generally are not using a golf cart. They're walking the course. I didn't even use the rangefinder today. Today was very interesting on the course. It really was.
I didn't get to see it when you were live, Ken, but I went back and looked at it, just kind of flipped through it kind of quick. Yeah. And it was a mud mess, man.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah. I put one tee shot in a puddle, and just about this much of the ball was that's how deep that puddle was. And no, I did not play out of that. I took my club and raked it out and put it.
You take an extra stroke?
No, I didn't even keep score today.
No, okay.
Didn't today was not a scorekeeping day. Today was an experiment of stance, grip, club positioning, and just being generally not smart since it was 40 degrees and not sunshiny.
I went across the street to the shopping center today to get a few things, and all these people were just griping and moaning, and one guy passed by me. Yeah, sunny California, huh? I just busted out laughing. These people out here are not used to this cold air we've been having.
Well, you came from the east originally, didn't you, Tim?
Yeah, I grew up in Lynchburg, Virginia. And
well, so cold air shouldn't bother you.
Doesn't bother me. I don't like it.
Oh yeah, well yeah. I mean, but since you grew up in it, why you can work in it okay if you have to.
Yeah, I'm in and out all day long on the forklift at work too.
Well, that's just like here. You get a little bit of moisture of any type on the roads, everything goes to hell.
Oh yeah.
We had a 12-car pileup on the 215 the other day, Ken, not too far from where I live.
Man.
Oh man.
And it was just because we had a little rain that day. And it was at the exit where it goes on to I-15 down south here.
That's what I used to laugh about down in Georgia. They get a little bit of snow and they all freak out because they don't know how to drive in it.
But I mean, I grew up, I learned to drive when in snow in the wintertime, and it's just a matter of not being a jerk, basically. Drive.
Yeah, that's how it is.
Escape people here.
Yeah, you got to learn to turn your wheel the opposite direction you're sliding too.
Right, but I mean, it's just like when I lived in East Tennessee, I lived in an area town in Oak Ridge where we had some hills, but I had a path from work where I could go gradually up the hills and everything. The only trick was you had to keep going, just steady. There'd always be some jackass that would stop ahead of you and then start spinning his wheels. And then it's all over at that point. I get to the side of the road, get out the chains and put them on the car at that point.
Hey, if ever in the mountains, remember to use those truck runoffs. If you start sliding in the car, power that sucker right into the runoff. I saved many lives. I've seen examples of that. I've had to do it myself. Yeah, when you just lose it and you're going down, you're like, oh, shizzle, and just
yeah,
right into it. Yeah, they'll tow you out. You got to pay a little fine and that sort of thing. And cops gonna go, okay, what happened? You know, it's like, yeah, all right. And it's snow and ice. Be careful next time, mister. We'll just give you a warning this time. That's usually what I got. I had to pay to get me out of the sand trap, but yeah.
I used to always keep a big bag of cat litter in the trunk just for that stuff.
Yeah.
Throw that stuff underneath the tires, I get right out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Or if it wasn't real bad, if you had a few bags of that in the back, just the added weight on the wheels would help you.
Mm-hmm.
I know in Greensboro, I had a truck, and of course, there's no weight in the bed of the truck.
Yep.
I was working at Greensboro Auto Auction back then. I grabbed 3 55-gallon drums and put it in the back of the truck that was empty, and I filled every damn one of them up full of water. I didn't get stuck at all in the snow in there.
Yep. Get that traction.
Everybody's like, what are you doing? I was like,
yeah, get that traction.
There's no weight in the back of this thing. I need some weight.
It's about 1,000 pounds, but back there.
Oh, yeah. It works.
There was one year we went to Gatlinburg, Tennessee at Christmas, and it had snowed. We had a Buick SUV. I forgot what. I think they call it Buick Rainer. That's a good thing we had that, because it was a pretty big vehicle.
I went and put the down payment on the horse and buggy today for the winter, so we'll be all right.
Between Cherokee and Gatlinburg, it's a that road usually gets closed, but we were lucky it didn't get closed. But it was pretty rough.
I have sat on a highway before. I think it was New Mexico or Arizona in the winter, actually the fall, when a snowstorm came up and they shut the highway down.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, sat there overnight. Thank God I had a full tank of gas. It was not fun.
I figured they would make sure everybody's off the highway before they shut it down.
They shut the ramps off so people can't get on, Chris, is what they do. And then those of us that were unfortunate to be on the highway, they just, cop car stops, throws the lights on, and you got to stop. You ain't going nowhere. My horrible luck was probably within 3 miles, I could have gotten off and just went in and stayed at the truck stop all night, but I didn't get that lucky.
Hey guys, I was going to say something. There's an interview a friend of mine sent me from I guess a trucker guy that was talking to a guy that owned a Tesla, and he was like, "Well, how do you get from point A to point B?" And he was explaining how the Tesla worked. He was being real cordial and all, but the gist of the whole thing is this guy literally had to go from point to point and stay 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 45 minutes. 30 in order to get where he's going, or or even 2 hours depending on how far he had to go to the next station. But he had to stop each place along the way. They told him to stop here, he had to stop there. You know, the next place he had to stop there to recharge in order to get to the next one. If he didn't, he'd break down between whatever. And I thought that was very telling. And I love the way that truck guy was like, "All right, man, good talking to you, cool." He was all cool with it, smiling. The Tesla guy was like, "Oh, I'm the big guy, I got the electric car." And you can just see the look on the old truckers, diesel guys, face just going, "Yeah."
So
okay.
that brings up a question in my mind. Are the tow trucks now equipped with the ability to charge electrical cars?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
Yes, they are. They are. They have generators on them. Yes, they do. Caterpillar, they have a couple of guys around where I live here, have the trucks with the generators, and they can charge your car on the side of the road. And you got to pay them, of course, a lot.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah,
they're not going to do it out of the kindness of their heart.
Yeah, they're going to come get you. Yeah, it's like, yeah.
I'm surprised they don't have damn solar panels on top of them.
No, F that, dude. We need RTG.
Solar
we had a
panels.
discussion last night. RTGs, hydrogen fuel cell.
There you go.
That's the way. Sorry. Didn't mean to get loud there. Yeah, I'm passionate about this. It's like, no, Yeah, hydrogen fuel cell. I will buy an electric car if it's hydrogen fuel cell. I go to the hydrogen station, fill up, or put water in it, whatever. Have to get a certain kind of water. That's fine. Or if it charges itself, like RTG. But unfortunately, even if it was an RTG, being it's a nuclear device, you would probably lease the vehicle. You probably wouldn't own it. So if anything went wrong, you would trade it for another one, and they'd give you another one, and you'd keep driving. More than likely, it'd be something like that. I'd be cool with that, though. I'm getting old. I'm too old to work on this shit anymore. I've been doing it for years, dude. It's like, come on.
So the headline I'm reading right now is Vegas woman charged with attempted murder, kidnapping after face-slashing incident at Burger King.
Haven't seen that one.
Melina Harris Brower, a 27-year-old from Little Rock, Arkansas, has been charged with first-degree kidnapping, attempted murder with a deadly weapon, battery with a deadly weapon, resulting in substantial bodily harm, and second-degree kidnapping after police said she was involved in a violent altercation, possibly linked to her work
as revenge stabbing.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't gotten that far in the article yet, but
hopefully she won't go to money.
What was her work?
Prostitute, alleged prostitute. Now you can't.
In other words, they were negotiating.
Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out how Burger King got into all this.
Maybe you have it your way.
I guess.
Well, Burger King, you can have it your way. That is.
I guess. One of the victims told the police she knew Harris Barrow as, quote, wifey, unquote, a term used in prostitution. Okay. I guess hoe went out the door. I guess we can no longer say hoe, can we? Probably
Sure
get,
Just say wifey.
Christmas.
I'll
Ho, ho,
probably
ho.
get censored for saying that.
Wait a minute. It's Christmas. Ho, ho, ho.
Well, I saw a real funny comic. Showed a
saw
Santa
that.
Claus laying on the ground, and there was an elderly lady with a cane in her hand. She goes, "Nobody calls Brenda a hoe 3 times and gets away with it."
So I'm
There's
sure
a
you.
house on the way that I drive my grandkids to school. It's got a Christmas pirate flag hanging, which is yo ho ho ho.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys have seen the story about the was it Chris Christie's niece?
Yeah, something about
Yeah, it took 6 officers to basically subdue her off the freaking plane,
Oh,
and
yeah.
she assaulted at least 3 of them, bit one of them enough to break skin, and all the time she's screaming, "My uncle knows Donald Trump."
yeah. I wonder what kind of drug she was on to.
Oh no, I don't think for a moment she was on drugs. The only drug she was on is that my uncle is Chris Christie and he knows Trump.
Yeah, but I'm thinking she had to have a lot of adrenaline or something going to fight that many police. I mean,
I gotta see the video.
I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, I would like to see a video. That'd be all right if it exists, which I'm sure it
She was
does.
combative to that extent, and they're really trying to control her. And because I've seen people like that, and they're on something, man.
Yeah.
And that could be a prescription. It could be a legal prescription for her. But however, when you go to altitude and have a few drinks and
she never got to altitude. She never got to altitude.
Okay.
They took her off the plane before it left.
So she was already messed up.
Oh yeah, because wasn't she wanting to upgrade from the normal people's area to first class or something like that?
No, had nothing to do with that.
Oh, I thought that's what I read.
No. She started at basically verbally assaulting a couple of, I think it was Latino people, accusing them of being Mexican drug mules and all this other kind of crap.
Oh man,
She was loaded.
Well, she probably was. On some, God only knows what the hell it was, but
yeah.
No, there are some people who are just raging assholes.
That's true. That's true, Jim.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yep.
That's Jim in Delaware. By the way, we found out today Delaware's only got 3 counties in the entire state.
Yes.
It's cold. I feel his coldness from here. Y'all sent the coldness to us. Yeah, y'all.
California's got 58. Indiana's got 92, which I find to be weird.
42.
You guys have got 42?
Oh, you talking about counties? Never mind.
Yeah, I just
my
Googled
brain's
it.
somewhere else.
Hey, Georgia got like 150.
Texas has got a lot. I don't remember the exact number, but I know it was a lot. We are down to 33 degrees. Cebu City is 86.
500 counties, probably Texas.
2 something, I believe, Chris. Hold on, I'll re-Google
really?
it. Yeah, I was shocked.
I wonder how many counties is in Virginia or North Carolina.
Probably got some big counties in Texas.
North Carolina's 100. Texas has 254.
Right. That's what
My man, B.H. Ringer.
That's what I just Googled.
You have 83 and Kentucky has 120.
Yeah, we're supposed to get to 27 here tonight.
Arkansas is 70. Arkansas is 75. I only know that because that's what they told me when they called me to tell me that I didn't that they canceled the interview.
It came up many counties.
Because I would have to go. I would have to. The person they hire has to go to all the voting. Has to go to all the counties to maintain all the voting machines.
You would have thought they would have told you that when they first set you up for the interview.
Well, Department of Motor Vehicles doesn't do that either.
That was in the job description. But the first thing I asked her when she called the first time was, "Do I have to drive?" And she said, "Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. Let me go ahead and put you in for an interview." And I get a call this week and told me, no, I'm sorry. But I talked to the director, and yes, there's no way we can work around. There's no way we can work around that.
So I've got some.
Well, at least they called.
I've got some bad news for some of us, and I've got some. The same news is going to be considered really great news by Greg. There probably will not be a daily Da Vinci tomorrow.
Yay!
Somehow I kind of figured that was going to go over that way.
Why not?
A couple reasons. I don't know if I'll be back from the north side of Indianapolis, and I've kind of hit a mental block on. I'm stuck right now. Best way to put it. I mean, if you watch today's thing that I did, I just repeated what I did yesterday, just a different picture instead of using Rick's picture, and I had to go back and use Rick's picture because I couldn't figure out how to do it on the picture I was using today. So. For sure, there probably won't be one tomorrow. Or I could do one at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and have some competition. Just a thought. So, anyway, Bob, we will at some point in time do a longer stream, except for tonight. I've got to be up in 7 hours. I'm actually going to end the stream without going through the end of stream outro I have, and I'm going to leave Zoom as well. So, good night, Greg, Rick, Tim, Jeff, Jim, BH, Stealth Mode, Chris, Gary, Darren, Wintermute, and Jim in Arkansas. I will see you guys.
Elizabeth, Mary Ellen.
Yeah. John Boy.
Good night, gentlemen. Thank you.
So, Stealth Mode, you're in charge.
All right. Cool.
Don't screw it up.
All right. All right, I can do that. All right.
See you guys. Oh, that was fun. I enjoy it. Thank you, Bob. I really appreciate you being here. I really enjoy it. And we'll start shooting for a little bit longer, except when I got to be up early. And I don't look forward to the 3 days in a row of getting up at 7. So good night. Thanks, everyone. The camera's not working. Oh, I ended Zoom first. That's why.